Umineko is one of the highest praised visual novels of all time and Erika's crowning jewel. If you are part of the visual novel fan base, and not just for the indecent parts of it, you know of Umineko. You have read Umineko, and if you haven't, I can firmly say you are missing out. Like, what are you doing? Get off of Nekobara for like 5 fucking minutes and start reading it. And by 5 minutes, I mean 5 months, because that's how long it took me. One of the many reasons Umineko is great is due to its abundance of foreshadowing and its slow drip feed of clues that lead you to uncover the mystery at your own pace. This allows you to form theories that will either lead to a huge satisfactory payoff if you're on the mark, or a perplexing truth if you're completely and utterly wrong. Incidentally, from the second episode onward, I guessed the overall culprit. Didn't have any good reason for it, but I trusted my blind instinct and happened to be right. That's my one and only win, and you know I'm gonna take it. One of Umineko's main storytelling elements is that back and forth information wars are combatively engaged by the characters in a higher meta world that exists outside the game world, where they attempt to solve the mystery of what happened on Rokenjima through different scenarios occurring in different episodes called Witches Games, of which there are 8. I'm going to limit spoilers as much as I possibly can, but it's unavoidable that I'll be talking about events that happen in Umineko up to episode 6, so leave now or be forever spoiled. A prominent theme in Umineko is that obsession over the truth can lead to an undesirable answer, and pursuing the truth through excessive means despite that may lead to an over-analyticalization and a misunderstanding of the truth, to which one may ask, is the truth even necessary? Keep that in mind. Enter Furudo Erika. As a bystander impartial to the Ushiromiya's family prestige, wealth, and personage, she's obsessed with pursuing only the truth. Erika pursues this truth, completely disregarding characters' feelings, enjoying the satisfaction that would come with simply being right. In other words, Erika's character is Ryukishi's attempt to personify Umineko readers, scouring every clue to the extent of beyond its meaning to find what could possibly be the solution to the mystery. This especially holds true for Umineko readers of the first 4 episodes. Erika's antithesis is Ushiromiya Maria. Maria grew up with her neglectful mother Rosa, who spent her time wallowing in a single mother's regret, sleeping around, or simply beating Maria, due to the fallout of her relationship with Maria's father. Due to this, it's not uncommon for Maria to develop a disassociation with reality, making excuses for Rose's occasional outbursts of anger or extremely neglectful behavior. Ryukishi, previously being a civil servant himself, had plenty of experience dealing with child abuse and interfamilial relationships, which his works reflect. The conflict begins partway through episode 6 when Erika insists that Beatrice doesn't exist. Maria pouts, insisting that she meets Beatrice every time she comes to Rokenjima, who always shows Maria her magic, a type of magic that makes candies appear under an overturned empty teacup, no less. Of course, despite attempts of de-escalation from the rest of the cast, Erika's bloodlust for the, albeit obvious, truth is triggered, and the meta witch battle begins. Maria insists that magic exists due to the teacup magic, and Erika fiercely calls her out. Even Erika's allies try to reason with her, saying this battle is futile and a waste of time due to Maria's childlike logic, but she pays them no mind. Erika prompts Maria into how Beatrice can use this magic, and she poses, Beatrice is a witch, so she uses magic. You can't use magic that makes candies without an incantation. This statement asserts that witches use magic, you need an incantation to use magic, and she'll later clarify that only witches can use magic. Ignoring all else, this alone pretty much digs Maria's grave, and Erika knows it. Erika, insisting it was a sleight of hand trick, shuts her down, but Maria pushes back and attacks with her red truth created from her previous logic. Unfortunately for her, the red truth is only as strong as the truth she knows, and not the legitimate truth. Nox's ninth, to be exact, and as Erika explains, all truths are nothing more than claims. Maria shows Erika how the magic is supposed to work through chanting an incantation and closing her eyes. Of course, as Maria always closes her eyes when the magic that she claims to exist happens, her previous red truth loses its leeway. Erika, finally having all the information she needs, showcases the teacup candy magic in front of Maria with ease. Of course, rather than Maria being confused in how Erika, as a human, could perform this magic, she's automatically led to the conclusion that Erika is also a witch, due to her previously flawed logic that asserts that the magic she knows can only be performed by a witch. Of course. At this point, you'd think World War III was happening outside your window, as every time Erika makes an arrogant truth statement, well, Erika again claims Beatrice's magic is a sleight of hand and that everything Maria knows as magic is simply a trick. But Sakutaro isn't having it and counterclaims that just because Erika shows it was possible to perform this trick with sleight of hand doesn't mean it wasn't magic when Beatrice did it. It's at this point Erika's party of Delanor and her subordinates Gertrude and Cornelia butt in to proclaim that this entire battle is just utterly meaningless. The illusion of the witch, which occurs when someone tries to force the acknowledgement of magic by claiming a thing would be impossible without it, has been disproved. So even if what Maria had seen was magic, there is no further argument to be made, as it does not disprove Beatrice, witches, or magic in of itself. Therefore, a ceasefire is declared and the battle is effectively over, to Erika's dismay. So what's to be made of this pointless battle? Well, a lot, actually. I remember having chills when first reading through this short section because it no longer hides Umineko's main message to the reader. In fact, it makes it so abundantly clear that the reader can't miss it, later setting up the one and only choice given in Umineko on its final chapter. Throughout this entire section, every character present in both the meta and game world doesn't believe in magic, except for Maria and Sakutaro. Battler, George, and Shannon feign ignorance and pretend, keeping Maria's childish dreams alive, but would never believe in magic themselves. Delanor, Gertrude, and Cornelia are allies of Erika and her anti-magic beliefs, but do not see the worth in pursuing a battle that will so obviously end in their favor. Maria's arguments were just pointless conjecture, so the only ones who cared about them were Maria herself, her ally Sakutaro, and Erika. If Erika were a rational character, she wouldn't have given Maria a second thought. She had a bigger mystery to solve, after all. However, due to her irrational hatred towards magic, which would defile the logic of her beloved traditional mystery stories that she had a major obsession of, she felt personally responsible to deny any trace of it. An entire essay can be written about Erika and her character, but the point is that magic doesn't exist to her because she only believes in a truth grounded in reality that the evidence points to. Erika has no compassion for anything else. Erika had wanted to hit Maria with everything at once, defiling the witch and the magic she believed in, and crushing it without a fragment of compassion. Maria is the exact opposite in this spectrum of belief. The hardships she went through with her mother Rosa that I mentioned earlier, which led to her disassociating from reality, brought her straight to the occult. If the occult exists, her mother isn't beating her. The demon that is possessing her mother is. If magic exists, she has something to look forward to and believe in despite her bleak home and school life. And, as seen in the earlier chapters of Umineko, if Beatrice and subsequently the Golden Land exist, even if her beloved family members have been murdered, they will meet again in the Golden Land, where they all will achieve happiness. It's not even a possibility for Maria that magic doesn't exist, because it must exist, lest she be forced to face reality. Thus, Maria and Erika's battle regarding the witch's magic of candy appearing from the overturned teacup that seems pointless has a lot more meaning from a broader perspective. Though of course, Erika's arrogance and attempts of having fun by utterly destroying Maria's logic are hardly justified even despite her background. A couple more thoughts. It's mentioned repeatedly that this battle is childish, which is to be expected when it's a fight between two of the only child characters in Umineko. However, considering this fight encompasses all of what Umineko stands for, with Erika being portrayed as a stand-in for ambitious Umineko readers, it feels like an on-the-nose commentary, as in, this is clearly a childish endeavor because the answer is clearly blank. But is that really the point? Prior to episode 4 in Umineko, Maria is easily seen as obnoxious. I can't be the only one that cheered when Battler would smack a cult Maria, despite being given hints to Maria's poor home life. Episode 4 changes your perspective on Maria though, and allows you to empathize with her. Furthermore, episode 4 makes you want to believe in Umineko's magic, especially nearing its end. So dialing it back, throughout Erika and Maria's fight, you want Maria to succeed. Even disregarding Erika's antagonistic personality, you don't want Maria's illusion of the witch to be shattered, because her belief in magic is her happiness, or at the very least, her shield from unhappiness. Which, taken into consideration of what everything represents, means you are in direct contrast to how Ryukishi previously personified the reader, which may have very well represented you yourself at one point. There's all of this to say, and likely much more, but for now I'll wrap up things before this video drags on. There are many arguments and drawn-out battles between characters that occur on a grander and grander scale as the episodes progress. Sometimes, however, the largest impact an author can give can occur from the subtlest of scenes. This is one of the reasons why I think Umineko is great, and why I think this is one of my favorite back and forths in the entirety of Umineko, despite its simplicity. What are your thoughts on this short yet impactful scene? What's your favorite battle or scene in the series? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching. It's nice to be back.